Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create your own wiki at this point that you can kind of play around with. Be aware that if you create a wiki, you can't have multiple wikis with that same name because it's all web-based. So if you notice up here it says fmtech2012.wikispaces.com. Uh, if you try to create one that just says, let's say, Mr. Johnson's Wiki, that's probably already going to be taken because Johnson is a fairly common name. So put some thought into, again, what you kind of want to do with the wiki, as well as what you want the name to be. Because you want it to be unique, obviously. It has to be unique. But you also want it to be something that the students can remember, that the link is fairly easy to communicate to people and post. So up here on Wikispaces, this is the wiki tool I'm most familiar with. Again, other wikis would have similar features. You're going to see the wiki that you're currently on, and then up top you're going to see your username. If you have any messages, this functions like an email system in essence. It's going to show you the other wikis you're part of. You can sign out, you can get help also. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my username. And then it's going to show you all the wikis that I'm part of. So now when my students have built wikis as a project, I'm members of those wikis so I can kind of look at it and access stuff. I've also got different messages in my inbox from summer school, people that are working on a wiki at this time in world history. But so this area in Wikispaces is called your dashboard. What I want to do at this point is left click on this button that says new wiki. And then you're going to select your industry. I'm going to put K through 12 education, continue. And I'm going to make a really ridiculous name that hopefully nobody would ever want to use. So crazy wiki, and then a whole bunch of random numbers. Okay. So at this point, you can fill in the rest of the information. I don't know if you need to fill in all of this. You know, if you can't find your school listed, just pick a neighboring school or a school in your district. I think that would be fine for this purpose. They're not going to double check on that and like send you to jail or something. So I'm going to go ahead and put world history grade. I'm going to put 10, of course, for West Fargo. And then I certify this wiki will be used for education. Then I'm going to hit create. Now, you're going to see a view that looks totally different than the wiki that I've created. I literally found out about this about 3 weeks ago, right when I came back from paternity leave. My son was born 4 weeks ago. Well, it'll be 4 weeks as of yesterday, June 4th. So this view, again, is the classroom edition. I'm not that familiar with this edition. We're just starting to use this now in summer school. They've kind of tried to include some more features that are helpful for teachers, such as this assessment tab, events, projects, kind of all these things set up. The assessment tab is nice in that it'll show you how much different users have been using the wiki. So you can change it from the last 30 minutes to like longer time. You can filter by different project that they've been working on. Basically, it allows you to track who's been working on things more effective. This feature right here, I'm very excited about. The other things I'm not as familiar with at this time, so I'm just going to show you kind of how to set this wiki up if you're going to build one. You're going to want to find the tab that says settings. Wherever that is, it might be at the top, it might be on the side if you're on the traditional view, and you're going to left click on that. Now you can see a thing about organizers. I'm the creator, so I'm automatically an organizer. Members are other people that are involved in the wiki who don't have as many privileges as the organizers. The first thing I'm going to want to do when I set up a wiki is go to the settings tab, and I want to decide what type of wiki I want to build. So you can change this later. I know that if you add some classroom features and then change it back, you might have some formatting issues. But I'm just going to change it to a basic wiki, which is what I've been showing you so far, and which is the way that all my pages were built, because this classroom edition didn't exist until probably late April, maybe mid-April this year. And I'm going to leave the one discussion tab per page, and then I'm going to hit save, and you're going to see an appearance change here. Where now you see how it turned green and it got rid of some of those links on the top. Now it's built like the wikis I've been showing you. So the first thing Again, you could change this back to Classroom if you want. You could do it with the basic website feel, which is similar to the wiki, but you'll have to think through which way you want it to be. If with my knowledge of this, if I was starting, I'd probably start with the Classroom edition and try it out. But then start small and build. Don't be like, let's do this big giant project when you're not really familiar with it. So first thing, set it up as a wiki, or peruse the other types and decide what you'd like. Second thing is permissions. This is really, really important. I would set the wikis you use in schools to protected almost all the time. I would never set it to public ever in education under any circumstances, because anyone, including anonymous visitors, could edit the pages that you've set up, and you don't want that to happen. Private might be an option. The only thing with private is that only members can view and edit the pages. One of the features that I've really liked with wikis is if I need to email, let's say, a caseworker, a special ed caseworker, or a parent about how a student is progressing on a project they're working on, I can email them the link to the page that the student is supposed to be working on, and then that person can go ahead and open it up. So if, let's say that Mrs. Johnson has Lane Johnson, whatever, in her class, and he's not, or in my class, and he's not doing what he's supposed to, if it's under protected view, I can link his page in an email file and send it to Mrs. Johnson. She can see exactly how far he's progressing without having to be a member. If I set it to private, she would have to join Wikispaces, request access, and go through a number of steps before she could check. So again, I would highly recommend protected, maybe private if you don't want anybody else to see. I don't think I'd ever do public. Okay, so when you have that set up, you can hit update, and then the permissions part's updated. Now I just want to go back to my home page. I'm going to left click on Wiki Home, and now I can start adding pages by just left clicking on the pages and files, editing, and doing what I want to do on the wiki.